Hello, my name is Mridla Tankashala and welcome to the Mayor's Youth Council Talk Show. In today's show, we're going to talk about peace, love, and planet. My guest today is Gina Adams-Levy. Welcome.
Thank you.
What is peace, love, and planet?
We're a local grassroots nonprofit. Our mission is to achieve meaningful reductions in resource consumption through the promotion of environmental awareness. And we achieve this through two means: youth education and recycling of garden plastic specifically.
Why is recycling such an important cause for you?
Well, recycling is really important because it reduces our consumption of the Earth's natural resources.
Right.
But recycling is actually just one component of a much larger initiative, which in our programs we promote refuse, reduce, reuse, recycle. And it's collectively all of these to achieve a more desirable environment.
Why is it important to reduce trash?
Well, it's important to reduce trash because trash creates air pollution, water pollution, and land pollution. And all of these have severe health hazards such as asthma. But the trash is only one part of it, and the larger picture is that we are a society based on convenience and consumption. So it's important, and that's why our programming tries to keep it simple and focusing on refuse, reduce, reuse, recycle. For instance, when you look at the everyday common water bottle, Americans consume over 60 billion water bottles a year, and only three out of 4 are thrown into a landfill. And plastic does not biodegrade, it photodegrades, so it breaks down into small particles, contributing to that pollution. And plastic is also a petroleum-based product, fossil fuels, so it has a finite resource. So by deciding to use a reusable water bottle instead of single-use disposable, we can significantly make an impact on conserving our precious resources.
How did you get involved in this nonprofit organization?
Peace, Love, and Planet came about as a way to create a solution for a community problem. It's interesting, when I moved to Farmington Hills 6 years ago, I assumed that we could recycle all the plastic. And it was the same collection curbside that they used in Royal Oak, was only 20 minutes away. So I began gardening because our yard was in need of tender loving care, and before I knew it, I had these huge piles of garden plastic. So I called the facility to make sure that we could recycle them curbside and I didn't need to maybe wash them out. And they informed me that not only do they not recycle garden plastic, they don't recycle polypropylene, which is the number 5 plastic that is made up of yogurt, sour cream, all of your flat lid containers. And I was pretty upset because I realized, as a parent who consumes a lot of this type of product, I put it in the recycle bin, but it gets sorted and thrown away at the recycle center. So I decided that I probably wasn't alone in this misunderstanding of the guidelines, and we started Peace, Love, and Planet as a way to nurture an awareness to the community and foster that understanding of the importance of conservation and get people to participate and create a more sustainable community.
What type of programming does a Peace, Love, and Planet offer?
We have a lot of fun talking about a serious subject. Our programs talk about the importance of conservation so kids can make informed, intelligent decisions about the planet and about their purchases, and can grow up to be stewards of the planet.
So what do you think your main target age groups are?
Our target age is 4 to 12, but the information is important and utilized through all ages. We concentrate on cafeteria trash specifically because it's tangible and the kids live it every day, and that way we can make significant contributions to conservation as a collective group.
Why do you think it's important to teach recycling for young kids?
Well, young kids can create their own new norm where using a recyclable or reusable water bottle versus single-use disposable becomes second nature to them. And so when they grow up and go throughout school, college and into their own lives, they are establishing a precedence and becoming stewards of the planet where they are recycling and conserving our resources as second nature.
What is a zero waste lunch?
Well, zero waste is kind of what it sounds like.
Yes.
It's instead of, we'll take cafeterias for example, instead of having a trash can, you offer alternatives like recycling for your plastic, your paper, your aluminum, your glass, and then you also offer composting so that there's organic matter can be composted versus going into a landfill.
We do that in our school.
Do you?
Yeah.
Last year, my children attend Gill Elementary,
Oh, okay.
and we implemented Waste-Free Fridays. So it's one day a week that families can kind of concentrate on assessing how much trash they're contributing and look at alternatives to single-use items, whether it's your snacks, buying in bulk. Not only do you actually end up conserving and saving a lot of money, but you're conserving how much trash you put into the landfill. And I do have an example, if it's okay to show and share with you when we talk to kids. Can I do this? So on Waste-Free Fridays, families will focus on, instead of using your Ziploc baggies, there's options, to buy bulk, and so you can use things over and over again. Replacing juice boxes with water bottles, replacing the Ziploc baggie with reusable Tupperware, and then of course I'm a huge fan of fresh fruit because it comes in its own packaging.
That's true. And in your classes you talk about closing the loop. Can you tell us a little bit more about this term?
Closing the loop is one of the most important components of recycling, and unfortunately it gets overlooked a lot. If you think about a circle, we the consumers make a conscious decision to recycle our stuff instead of throwing it away. Then when we put it in the recycle bin, it gets collected by the recycle company and transported to the recycle facility. At that point, it gets collected or sorted and consolidated into like products and then shipped to a manufacturer where they take that recycled product and can manufacture new product out of the recycled goods. To close the loop, the responsibility comes back to us, the consumer, to be purchasing products that contain recycled material. And unfortunately, that does not become a priority because the products are not always readily available. So we promote in our programs to send kids on a scavenger hunt when they go either grocery shopping or to Target with their families, and look for labeling that says either post-consumer or recycled content, and that way we can prevent having to extract resources from the planet, and we can use the recycled goods over and over and over again. And recycling is much more efficient than extraction of raw materials from the planet. You save on water consumption, you save on energy consumption, and you also significantly reduce your carbon dioxide input. So it's really a better choice.
That is a big deal. Can you give us examples of what families can do to incorporate sustainable practices at home?
Well, I try to keep it simple in the programming, and that's why most people have heard about reduce, reuse, recycle.
3 R's.
But we did add a 4th R with Peace, Love, and Planet, because if you start with just refusing to use so much stuff, for instance, restaurants are programmed to give little kids a sippy cup. However, restaurants do not recycle. So most of that ends up in a landfill. And if kids start to refuse to use single-use products, even though they're convenient, we're able to collectively make a huge difference. So what can people do in their homes? Well, I would start with recycling. If you haven't started, we can recycle everything from aluminum to plastic to paper and glass. Preventing plastic from the landfills is really important because plastic does not biodegrade, it photodegrades. So basically over hundreds of years it'll break down into small particles, and that's where we go back to it creating a lot of pollution. So what can families do? Make good choices. Start with recycling. If you've mastered that, then consider bringing, instead of single-use disposable, switch it out with your reusable water bottle. I like to use the example of Gatorade. Yeah. This is a powdered Gatorade. And one of these is equivalent to a case and a half of the bulk that you would buy at Costco. And I was looking at the statistics, and kids, say on average, drink 1 bottle of Gatorade a day. And it's going to cost anywhere from 52 cents if you buy it in a case up to $1.50 if you buy it in a vending machine. Mm-hmm. And over the course of 1 school year, if you drink 1 a day, which I think that's conservative, I'm not sure, but you would save over $300 utilizing just a powdered and a reusable water bottle. And that's some great movie money. So I think that's some pretty good incentive. The other thing I like to bring up, especially with the holidays, are rechargeable batteries. Okay, yeah. And when you talk about all of the games and toys that kids play with, rechargeable batteries may initially seem like an expensive investment, but within 1 year they pay for themselves, and you're actually able to save roughly $140 a year because the rechargeable batteries can be used over and over again.
See, that's a new thing, like recycling batteries now.
Right, right. And you do have to be very careful with how you discard the batteries because they do contain mercury, and so you do not want to put them in your trash because that will eventually decompose and leak into our water system, which goes back to the water pollution caused from our landfills. So, and probably another easy, I think it's easy, but it's something that people have to establish that habit, is bringing your own bag, whether it's to the grocery store or to Target or to the mall. They have these really tiny ones now that fit in your purse. So it's a matter of remembering to put it back in your purse or in your car when you're done unloading your groceries. But the plastic consumption in the U.S. is significant. So just by incorporating, not everything, I'm not asking people to make radical changes in your behavior. It's pick one thing, and then once that becomes second habit, maybe, or second nature, try one more thing. And pretty soon you'll understand not only the monetary savings from incorporating sustainable behaviors, but also health benefits too.
That's true. Why do you think the local farm markets are good for the environment?
I love farmers markets. First of all, our food travels over 1,500 miles to get to our table typically. And food is, of course, packaged and processed. And so buying fresh produce from the farmers market, not only are you providing the healthiest meal for your family, but you're also supporting our local economy. And it's just a much better alternative than buying processed food, which tends to be not as healthy, and you're conserving not the transportation alone and the carbon dioxide output of transportation. So farmers markets are awesome.
What are some of your biggest accomplishments?
Since Peace, Love, and Planet started in 2008, we first of all are now recognized by the Michigan Green Schools, which is an accreditation for schools trying to obtain a green status in Michigan. And Peace, Love, and Planet programming is recognized as a point for their program. Then we were also recognized by Disney's Family Fun magazine for our recycling initiatives. Last year, I won a very prestigious award from TerraCycle, which you might have heard of TerraCycle. It's a company that will recycle products that typically are not recycled curbside, like your single snack packaging. They'll recycle batteries, they'll recycle juice boxes, and this type of packaging typically is not recycled in your local recycling program. And so I did win an award for our recycling as well as our educational programs from them. And then we participated when we implemented the Waste-Free Fridays at our school. We videoed like a how to be waste-free. We created a how to be waste-free video. and that was entered in the National Geographic contest, and we took 6th out of the nation in that contest. And based on that recognition, the Oakland County Commission gave us a proclamation award last year as well. So those things are huge.
Yeah.
I guess maybe one of the most gratifying accomplishments would be that we've recovered over 35,000 pounds of garden plastic in just a few years. And I'm happy to say that we accumulated over 500 signatures last year from the community to voice our concern about this non-sustainable material being thrown into a landfill, and we presented that to the Recycle Authority, and they are definitely looking at expanding our plastic curbside. So that will allow Peace, Love, and Planet to let the recycling be collected by the professionals, where we can focus on children's education instead.
Congratulations on all of that.
Thank you.
Do you have a webpage where people can get more information on Peace, Love, and Planet?
Sure. It's www.peaceloveandplanet.org.
Okay. And anything else you would like to add?
Well, I guess it's important for people to realize that it's not about one person making a difference. It's about collective effort.
Right.
And so, as I mentioned, pick one thing, and together we can make a huge positive impact on the planet. We don't have to make radical changes, and maybe it's taking a shorter shower, or maybe it's remembering to bring a reusable bag, or sometimes if I really want a coffee but I've forgotten my reusable mug, I either make myself buy another reusable mug or I skip the coffee. But because our society is based on convenience, it's really important that we start thinking about the important R's and how we can refuse, reduce, reuse, and recycle.
So little things add up to a lot of results.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you to Gina for all the information that you gave, and thank you to the viewers for watching. We'll see you next time.